Oh, God.
Okay, we're here. Hello. This is episode 70 of the ToonamiGAF podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C. Kohler,
Hey, guys.
Schadenfreude,
How's it going, guys?
and Zonic.
Hello.
You might think maybe there's a reason it's 5 instead of 4, but no, the reason is I overbooked. Sorry.
We need a new producer.
Yeah. I fucked up. I'll just go produce the Joker origin movie.
It's going to be an easy paycheck.
Yep. So in news, that Samurai Jack Blu-ray is real.
Oh, yes. I want it.
It also seems they're going to be airing a movie during theaters in October.
Wait, what?
So apparently, was it October 16th, they're going to show that premiere movie that was like the first 3 episodes combined.
Oh, seriously?
I would see that.
Hang on, I got to Google this because I want to...
It's like...
Oh, shit. Yeah, here it is. October 16th. Their tickets go on sale on September 15th. It's from the acclaimed movie from season 1. So basically the first
3 episodes.
the first 3 episodes of the series. And that's still a really good 3 episode stretch. It's not the 3 episodes from season 5, but it's still crazy good. So I'm still sold.
I bet the Alamo Drafthouse is going to show that.
Oh, I hope they do.
That's going to be so good. Anyway,
I'm
the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be all first 4 seasons remastered in HD.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, they're also doing Spirited Away on the 29th of October. Next week is Castle in the Sky. That's cool.
Yeah. Doing like Ghibli event where they're going to show different movies over the weeks.
If you're a fan of Howl's Moving Castle, that's in November, and Nausicaa is September.
Cool. Anyway, Samurai Jack Blu-ray, go.
I want it. How much is it? Did they say?
Are they selling like a version that's just season 2 and then also a combined version?
I mean, I believe, they are selling a version that is just season 5. And then there's the combined version with the HD remasters of all 4 for the first 4 seasons and season 5, and that's $112.
Oh, yeah, I said season 2. I meant season 5.
And that comes out 16th as well.
Wait, so only $112? That's about $2 an episode. That's not too bad at all.
Pretty good.
I'll probably wait for some Black Friday deals.
Oh, yeah.
I can try to get it, though.
Definitely.
Man, I'm pre-ordering that immediately.
I'll wait for Black Friday, but I'm getting that.
I already punched a fistful of money through my screen.
It'd be cool if they released like a clip or something from the remastered season 1 or something.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be what they're doing with the movie thing.
Oh.
That might be the first 3 episodes remastered in HD.
I mean, they're showing it in a theater, so it has to be high def, so...
Yeah, so I imagine that's what that... Oh, I definitely got to go to that now.
The season 4, in the box set, the season 4 cover is the light versus dark battle.
Oh, that was so good.
Let me see if I can figure out which of the...
That was a really good episode, and I think there was an episode with the Scotsman where Jack lost his memory in that season too. And oh wait, that season also had The Birth of Evil. That shit won an Emmy.
Yep.
I'm a little disappointed they're not showing that in theaters because that was really good.
Wasn't season 4 also the episode where Aku was selling all those children's stories?
I think so.
And his great flaming eyebrows. I always love that part so much.
It's very good.
Oh, and I can't find it, but man, it looks so good. I want it.
Hmm.
I will have it. I have no room to put it, but I'll have it anyway.
I mean, I like getting TV shows sometimes, but I mean, I feel like I'll buy them and then I'll never really see them, you know? Like, I have The Twilight Zone here, I have Avatar The Last Airbender here, and I mean, to be honest with you guys, I've never
You don't
actually
watch
seen
it.
a single DVD.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've watched my Black Lagoon ones a couple times. Full Metal Alchemist through once. I have like 3 of those Amazon boxes of One Piece. I've only watched one of them. It's just one of those things. It's nice to have around
Yeah.
if you ever want to watch it, but
Yeah, I'm
like,
the same way. Like I have several Blu-rays that I think I just own it because I want to own it and not so much that I'm going to watch it a lot.
I feel like eventually I'm gonna watch all this stuff I own. I think I've watched most of it at least once. It's just, being able to say, oh yeah, if I want to watch that, I have it. I don't have to worry about it being on Netflix or Hulu or anything.
I mean, yeah, that's the truth, you know?
Speaking of Netflix and Hulu, streaming services are buying up the rights to everything, so we have no idea what's going to happen in the future.
No idea.
Like, apparently High Dive is exclusively streaming the dub of Ushio and Tora.
Serious? Wait, who is?
High Dive.
The fuck is High Dive?
Exactly.
Is
It
High
really
Dive,
does.
is it a dubbing house or is it a
No, High Dive is
They,
just another streaming service that kind of has nothing.
I think
Oh.
it's the
They kind of arose from the ashes of like whatever the other one was. And Sentai has kind of been on a basically since Crunchyroll and Funimation were like,
yeah.
let's power up.
Fuck
Sentai is like, no, fuck you guys. We're going to everyone else.
That's lame. I don't want to pay $4 a month for that. I mean,
there's always the physical release.
There is, but I really wanted to see an episode or two first to decide if I wanted to, spend the money on that because, it's Sentai and it looked okay from the clip I saw, but, you can never tell. So I wanted to give it like 3 episodes and I mean, just looking at what this thing offers, and it's like the only thing I'd be interested in that they seem to have is Ushio and Tora, and I'm not spending, $4 on some so I can watch Dog Scissors. Seriously, they got a thing called Dog Scissors.
Dog X Scissors.
Oh no, that's Dog and Scissors. I haven't even heard of half of this crap. Mach Romantic? What the fuck?
Oh God, I remember seeing that.
Look at school. Oh, When They Cry. This is. Just shoot me now. So we're not.
Anime streaming thing collapsed into a pile of
Yeah.
disastrous garbage in a year.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing just fell apart on us, and now it's way too splintered. I think Hulu lost most of their dubs at this point. They don't have any of them up anymore.
I try to be a good citizen and pay for stuff.
Yeah.
But you make it so hard.
Yeah, and it looks like it's only going to get worse because everyone wants a piece of, streaming because Disney's going off to do their own thing too.
I mean, Disney, with what they own, they can do that.
They can do that, yeah, but I mean, who the hell wants to pay 12 different things, $7 a month to watch stuff,
Nobody.
You might as well get a cable subscription.
I say this as someone who just cut my cable.
I mean, I
What?
agree with you guys. This is really the biggest problem with the anime industry. They're all about don't pirate, please. Buy our stuff, buy the DVD, buy the Blu-ray set, things like that. But then when people want a convenient way to watch all these things, they do stuff like that. Like with Crunchyroll, with Daisuke. I heard that even Daisuke, who used to have free anime, like good anime, they had like Dragon Ball Super. They had the oh god, which one was it?
They had One Punch Man.
They
Yeah.
had One Punch Man, and I
Mhm.
mean, it got completely destroyed. They're closing down all their streaming services. So
I think
mean,
I think the
looking
positive
at the
in this is that for sure these services are not going to all survive.
no, I mean Hi-Fi or whatever the hell it's called. It doesn't even have a free version with ads, so I can't imagine it's going to last very long.
I can imagine it all kind of collapsing down into Netflix getting
Crunchyroll.
whatever Netflix pays for to exist and pays to get, then
Mhm.
Amazon gets a lot of this again, and then kind of Amazon gets whatever doesn't go to Crunchyroll gets whatever doesn't go to Amazon.
Yeah, what's happening?
I think Hulu's going to stick around too,
I
but
think-
Hulu
what's happening-
Hulu has never really had anything only on Hulu.
no, but I mean they have enough of everything that it's worth having.
Yeah.
What's
I
weird
mean,
about it is that the anime, like as anime fans, we're used to kind of having an all-you-can-eat kind of one
stop
stop
buffet,
shop.
yeah.
And the problem is, it's not. Maybe it's not. I guess it's a problem because we're all talking about it. But like places like Netflix and Hulu and other places, even Crunchyroll, like they're looking at like, well, what's this show that we can get that's our exclusive show?
Mhm.
Just like an HBO or a Showtime would do, where they would create their own show.
I mean, I'm
that's
okay with
not what we're
that.
used to. Where we're not used to these exclusive anime shows only available on one outlet. We're used to getting them
Right.
all from the same place.
Right.
Which
I
was
mean,
really
and
Crunchyroll for like 2 years.
Right.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
even
I mean,
then, that's not a long time.
And they offered it for free too. You can watch it with ads. You didn't have to sign up for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like half the reason I deal with, a Netflix subscription is A, it's pretty cheap, and B, they basically have everything. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, it's worth it, but they're losing a lot of dubs and stuff, and it's kind of annoying.
I remember
Wait.
thinking, man, a Violet Evergarden looks amazing. I sure hope it doesn't. Oh. Netflix.
Have fun watching it next year.
Yeah,
Like, I wonder when Kakeguri is going to come out next year.
next year.
Like, do you not understand that anime watching revolves around the seasonal year-end awards?
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that, and even like, what is it? Amazon is offering, like, it's not under Prime. You have to sign up for another service on top of Prime,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
No,
which I'm
anime.
not doing. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, nope, staying away from that. I'm not giving them my money for that. I'll pay for Prime.
What were you
But
going to
that's
say,
it.
Shad? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say something.
Was it Zonic?
Someone
I
was
was-
going to say something.
This service was Anime Strike. It was like what, an additional $10 on top of your Prime.
Yeah.
I believe it was $8, kind of it was in
It's
parity
still-
with what the other places cost, but then it's like, really?
On top of it. Yeah, I mean, it's on top of Prime. It's like, with Prime, I get, the instant video, I get the music, and really, you're going to charge me $8 more for this?
I mean, they're charging it because they feel like they can.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not, paying, is because, come on, dude, I'm paying for Prime. Give me a break.
I mean, for most people, Prime probably just ends up being, they don't even think about paying for Prime. It's just an automatic deduction, like car
Yeah.
insurance.
I
And
mean,
the
it mostly pays. Yeah, I mean, it mostly pays for itself. But depending on how much you order off of Amazon or how much you use instant video or Amazon Music or whatever. But it's still a bit much for an extra $8. I don't know. I just miss the days where it was Hulu and Netflix, and that's all you had to deal with, and everything
Hulu
was
and Netflix
on
for
one of
everything
those two.
except anime, and then Crunchyroll and maybe Funimation for anime.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I mean,
we have no idea what's going to come down to Toonami in the future because
no way. Yeah, everything's just getting. I thought for sure after it's like not My Hero Academia. I'm like, okay, well, maybe Ushio and Tora's got a spot, and well, that got snapped up by a bunch of nobodies.
like Toonami is. And the worst thing is like Toonami is still the least moneyed competitor in
Yeah.
that space.
Well, here's the thing, and to bring it full circle back to Toonami, they're not out of this game as well. Don't forget, they're going to have exclusive shows like Fooly Cooly Season 2 and 3.
And,
Yeah, but that's still going to wind up on like Hulu or Netflix or something.
Well, we'll see. Maybe. I mean, it probably will, but
yeah,
it wouldn't. It would be in line with what everyone else is doing if they're creating an original show and it's only available on Toonami.
At this point, they're paying for the right to show it at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to be like, only on Toonami. It's like, Toonami got it.
And then everyone else is going to get it after.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, aren't they funding it too, though? So doesn't that mean they have...
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to wind up going up on, like, Hulu or Netflix or something.
And Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I mean, does Samurai Jack on anything?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, really?
I mean, not the new season yet, but everything else is.
A better example would be Space Dandy, and Space Dandy is also available on other streaming services.
Yes, Space Dandy's on Hulu. Not the dub, though. Only the sub.
Well, I believe that's probably because Toonami's like, nope, dub is ours.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I think it's like, it's also up on Hulu, and they've sort of weirdly been moving away from airing dubs, so it might be a Funimation thing. They want to make you sign up for their service to get that.
Well, the real problem with that show is that they don't want to show the dub ever again to anyone.
Yeah, that is the real problem. Give us season 2. Put that on repeat.
Anyway, maybe we actually get more old shows than we thought.
I mean, that would be pretty cool. There are a bunch of older shows that, would be worth watching that we sort of missed out on because they were either too adult or they, hit in that gap when Toonami was canceled.
Like I could live if next year we kind of go back to the well. It's like, okay, let's see what fell through the pipe, and also of course we're getting One Punch Man and Attack on Titan.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's enough that fell through the pipe that it's worth going back.
I think its new model is going to be new premiere shows and classics.
I mean, that works,
because I feel like that's what they're doing now, kind of testing the water with Outlaw Star.
Well,
yeah, they're seeing if they can legitimately go back to something in the past and see if that gets ratings. I think they're going with Outlaw Star because it's got the HD and they've shown it before.
What did Outlaw Star? Let me really check quickly to see what Outlaw Star got in ratings.
I hope it did well.
456,000
in demo. That's pretty good.
That seems that seems pretty good for the after Shippuden show, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean that time of night, it's not bad at all.
I mean, I don't think they can really air more than 2 of those at a time.
Yeah,
probably.
And the other, and if they're going to air more than 2, one of them has to be Gundam.
G Gundam, please.
G Gundam.
Yes. Should be so lucky.
And in the context of like new shows, there aren't enough of those that come out that aren't already gotten that they can show.
Mm-hmm.
They have to still air shows that are like, it's like a year and a half, 2 years old, but it's still new-ish.
Yeah, I mean, they can still get away with that, too.
But then I look at the schedule, and it's like, well, Super's here for a while. Kai, who knows what they're going to do with that? Fairy Tail.
No.
Hopefully not.
I don't know what'd be worse, a repeat or Fairy Tail.
Maybe by the time Super ends, the contract with Ushio and Tora will be up, and they'll be able to get that.
They seem to be pretty. They seem to have a pretty firm grasp on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh
yeah, that's good.
I think if Part 4 is ready by next year, it'll probably.
They'll get
I don't even know if they'll do a break show unless it's like Attack on Titan again.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul. Who knows what's going to replace? Well, we know what's going to replace. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then Tokyo. Really, all that's left for next year is Tokyo Ghoul and Lupin.
Is the current JoJo that's airing now on Toonami a dub premiere?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you can't even buy it on Blu-ray yet.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Hunter's going to stick around for about another year.
Yeah. And it will finish because, I mean, they can actually finish it.
Yeah, there's
opposed
an
to
actual
what they
end
did in
date
one
there.
day.
I mean, I would hope that they just get sick of Shippuden at one point and just be like, okay, I'm done. Go away.
Yes, we're all... like, if
We need
One
like
Piece
a-
has
we
to
need
die,
like a-
hopefully you can take Shippuden with it.
We need a letter writing campaign.
Like it,
Anyway.
to,
Oh, go ahead.
to be fair, Shippuden's really never gonna end in America. How many years did they calculate that we take to get up through all the episodes? Like,
It's something like 2020 something.
it's
Christ,
going to be the
man.
next time. It's going to be the next time we
2023
have an
sounds right.
Oh wow, that's just before we have another eclipse in the United States.
Yeah. Well, the next total eclipse, I believe, is 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be upstate New York for most of it, and
That's the night the finale of Shippuden will air, and then there'll be the end of the world.
In eclipse news, U.S. total solar eclipse.
Yeah, we did that.
This is
Don't
your
look at it.
Solar Eclipse Podcast Central.
Yeah.
Don't look at the sun,
Oh,
because if you do, you won't be able to watch Toonami. Boom.
This is solar eclipse. So the next total one is in 2024,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gonna kind of go from Texas and up through the Midwest and up through the Northeast.
Actually, I think it's going down through. Is it go through those states?
No, I would imagine an eclipse would always go from west.
No. It's this weird thing where it depends on where the sun is in relation to the moon.
Well, anyway,
Whatever.
that'll probably be my best chance to see it because my dad lives pretty close to that. Anyway, this has been your eclipse minute.
We'll be back next week.
Want to talk about the block?
Yeah.
All right.
Dragon Ball Super Episode 30, a run-through for the competition. Who are the last two members? So I kind of admit this episode I kind of spaced out when I realized it was recap and then kind of was like, oh, they're doing new stuff.
But I think this was a pretty good recap episode, just for like the Krillin doing imitations and the narrator breaking the fourth wall.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it funny.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I quit. And then like Goku was talking directly to the narrator.
Was it like that in the Japanese version too? Like with the fourth wall breaking? Because I know the Funimation guys like to have fun with the dub a little, like with the tractor scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never saw that version.
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't really pay attention.
It seemed too ingrained to be changed. Like
Probably.
Goku straight up stares at the screen and then pauses while the narrator is speaking. I don't think you can change that.
No, that's true.
Probably not.
Also, Vegeta decided to institute a written test, so naturally they go try to put Buu on their team.
Why would he want a written test?
To keep stupid people like Buu out.
But Boo is strong. He'd win.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it exists so that Boo doesn't have to fight.
Maybe it exists so the kids can't join in. Because let's be real. Goku would fail a written test.
Yeah.
I think the only fighters that would pass are like Gohan. and he's busy.
I think the thought behind that was that he didn't want any sort of, dumb, mindless creatures. Like, do you guys remember in that Dragon Ball Super episode where Beerus was fighting those ogre things or whatever?
Oh yeah, them dumbass guys.
Yeah, I think Vegeta just didn't want anything like that, like just a creature that doesn't talk or have any strategy whatsoever.
Fast forward to, what the fuck, Goku? You failed the test.
I mean, that seems likely, to be honest.
But of course, Boo is definitely failing. In fact, I know this for a fact because I've read the script.
I mean, did anyone think he
wait, Boo
passed?
is not going to be one of the fighters?
Spoilers,
he's not. No.
All right. Like Max
that was
was
a joke. Like, it's so incredibly obvious that Boo cannot pass a written test.
Speaking of Boo and spoilers, they talk about someone named Oob, like Boo spelled backwards.
Yeah.
And they show some weird thing spitting out Boo, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh yeah. I have not seen that yet. That must be near the end of Kai.
Or probably more accurately, just before the middle.
Okay.
Because goddamn, the Boo arc is way too long.
No kidding. It is very, very long.
Also in this episode, who else was in this episode? I forget.
Gohan's busy. He's got work.
Oh, yeah.
He's got work and his daughter and stuff, so he can't fight.
He went home to be a family man.
Yeah.
I really hate his new design.
Yeah, honestly, I liked the hair he had in the Frieza arc better, but whatever.
He also
can't have nice
He also
things.
didn't look like a scrawny nobody.
This is true.
Look, he's been taken over by the evil wiles of capitalism. You can't blame him.
Well, I mean, he's working out now. He's pumping up. He's pumping up, going to the gym and shit.
Also in this episode, Goku and Vegeta are like, let's just spend 3 years in the time chamber like it's nothing.
Yeah, no.
Any excuse to get away from his family.
Right.
Like one of these days, he's just gonna go out one day, come back, and he's like old, like straight up saying old, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I spent 20 years in the time chamber." Good news is, I can bench press the planet now.
Well, I mean, there's this weird thing with the Saiyans. Apparently, like they hit maturity really fast, and they stay, like in fighting shape for a long time. But when they finally get old, they get old fast. So at some point, it's going to be like, Goku's just going to wake up one day. He's going to be like an old grandma or something.
We never get to see old Goku because didn't he get age reversed?
Yes, he did.
No, he
But,
got turned into an old person.
No, he got turned into a little kid.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember he turned into a little kid.
GT sounds weird.
It's also
really
not canon, apparently, I think. So.
Yeah, it's not canon anymore. But
so who knows what Saiyan aging canon is?
Well, I mean, technically, I think it is. They don't get old till they're 70, and then they sort of just hit that steep decline right there.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, Goku's actually younger than all the people that were still on Earth because he died, and then he stayed in Otherworld.
This is true. He is 7 years younger than Vegeta, at least.
And I wonder if you age in the hyperbolic time chamber.
You probably do.
I would think so, but you know what? To be completely honest, they've never illustrated such.
Well, I mean, Trunks grew hair.
Yeah.
Like when he went in, his hair got longer.
That's true.
And there's going to be a funny scene when they come out that you're going to laugh at.
I can't wait.
I want to talk about that one.
Well, first, we got to talk about Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters, episode 129, of Secret Plan to Defeat Boo. Its name is Fusion. In this episode, Goku's like, why not Fusion, that thing I came up with just now?
And then Videl proves she's got more balls than Yamcha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then again, Yamcha's died like 4 times now, so you know.
And 18 brutally murdered Master Roshi.
Yeah, Master
She
Roshi was
deserved it.
full-on motorboating 18, like straight up
went
legit
mad.
trying.
Like he needs to chill a little bit.
That was
You know.
actually pretty funny.
Dude needs some chill.
The this was like a filler episode, right?
Kinda.
Yeah.
People were talking about that, and they were like, "Why is there this filler episode and then Kai and all this stuff?" But all I could think about when I was watching this episode was like, it was really well made. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell sometimes. I think this is not just a DBZ thing. I think this is like a lot of anime shows. Sometimes when you give the animation studio free reign to like make something up, for some reason they'll like put more effort into it, and so the animation in
For
this
some
episode
reason.
actually looked a lot better than average.
Yeah.
I also think that straight up, the show is more interesting when the characters are weaker.
It really is.
Because you
I
immediately
think
went back to, Boo stuff, and it's like, boring.
I mean, part of the problem is that everyone's sort of at this point where the only thing that can challenge them, like pose any sort of challenge, are like universal destroying things. Like threats to the entire universe. So, that's the only place to go. Like everyone got way too strong, way too fast at the start of Z, and it just spiraled endlessly out of control.
Anyway, I also liked a lot of the characters that were there more than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was lighthearted, which is like we've said a million times on this show. Like the lighthearted stuff is way more interesting than the battles.
Yeah. It really is.
I mean,
I
after a
really
certain point, like you can only see so many people doing repeated punches and key blasts before it starts to get boring. So I kind of agree with you guys.
Yeah, it's just that like the levity is just more interesting, and you get like wacky character reactions and like little things like we said, like Roshi interacting with 18. When's that going to happen? It's not going to happen in a fight.
It's probably never going to happen ever again.
Probably.
Definitely not. I mean, you think she's going anywhere near him? Why do you think her and Krillin moved out?
Also, like, Chi-Chi is practically it's like throwing condoms at Videl right now.
Seriously. Well, I mean, can you blame her?
No.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty, she's rich,
Pretty rich.
She looked so cool and cute in this episode with her little fight T-shirt she was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I miss this Videl already.
Yep. One can only wish that some, super comes up like, let's just give a bullshit power up to someone. Please be Videl.
Yep. We should be so lucky.
I can't remember what else was in this episode.
It was nothing.
They were looking for the dragon. They were like finding the Dragon Balls, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Videl was like all the way, or like Chi-Chi was all the way up there, and is like, could maybe someone else who can fly should do it.
Yamcha.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and
Yamcha,
there was, like-
18, and Videl are all there like, man, I hope she doesn't fall.
also there was like even more lewd stuff in this episode where it was like a giant dragon that was like licking the girls.
Yeah. That wasn't creepy at all.
When the animators are allowed to roam free.
Yeah, there comes the fan service.
Anyone else have anything on this episode?
It happened.
It was kind of a episode, so I
How
don't really
many
have a lot to say.
have?
Hmm?
How many more of these do we have?
Like
Enough.
40.
You
You would not believe how long this arc. You would not believe how long this goddamn arc is. It's like
So long. It's longer than the Chimera Ant arc.
da, da, da.
So long. So long.
Yeah, so we're at episode 129, and we've got till episode 167.
Oh.
Wow.
That's
So
slightly
about-
less than 40 episodes.
So another
Worst-
year.
Be points like, okay, this clearly should have had. Why are there still 30 episodes left? Wow.
And I mean, this is the cut version, you know, so
Yeah.
damn, man.
This is the part. This is the version that was cut down. So just despair.
So, want to talk about JoJo?
Yes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Episode 4, Tower of Grey, or as Avdol would say, Tower of Grey!
Yeah, what was with Avdol's voice this episode?
I guess-
So this is the first episode that wasn't in the test dub, so these people are coming back to pay these characters after like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And Avdol already is that voice is maybe not like the poorest of the group. And so at most, whenever Avdol has to like raise his voice, it sounds like the voice actor is trying not to go full Gundam Tanaka and failing. It just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it wasn't
I didn't think it
terrible,
was-
but it was weird. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say the same thing as you. I
Yeah,
mean,
it just sounded off. It wasn't terrible, but it was just like it doesn't sound the same. It's weird.
He sounded a bit like a Muppet.
Just a little bit.
Everyone else is like fine enough, even though it's like, oh yeah, they're also trying to find the voice again.
By the way,
Well, I mean,
guys,
that's what happens.
did you know the definition of massacre is to kill everything?
I
No.
had no idea.
No, I didn't. Thank you, worthless facts narrator.
Mhm.
Like, the narrator is never memorable enough that you remember when he comes in. So when he does come in, it's like, wait, what the fuck? Why
I mean,
are
I
you
like-
here?
I like all the cultural bits he spits out, things about the places they're visiting and the people that live there. But then, I mean, sometimes they just ham it up way too much.
That's
Like,
the best part, though.
if Masterpiece Theater should show Phantom Blood, the Travel Channel should show Stardust Crusaders. A special Travel Channel production. The interesting cultures of the world and punching.
You punch ghosts.
And sharks. That bump was great. Anyway, in this episode, Kakuin fights. We get his theme, which we don't hear often enough because it's cool. And that's about it.
Joseph can't order food either.
No, he can't.
He's very bad.
Joseph's going to do that a lot where he's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. And he doesn't.
That's why he's the best.
One particularly memorable moment later with camels comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
We also get introduced to Polnareff. He's French.
That's the white-haired guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was the WB dub, he'd be like, oui, oui, I am French.
That would be awesome. I'm sorry.
Summon these stand.
He has a cool looking stand.
Silver Chariot is pretty cool. But so get used to it because from now on it's the Jotaro and Polnareff show with occasional guest appearances by the other Crusaders.
That is perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, so if it wasn't clear by now, this is the uncensored version of the show.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding.
Because
There was
man,
some-
there was black on the censored version, and it's so weird seeing it uncut now with the freaking tongue split in half.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, that dude. And they just like showed what we thought was his dead body for like a long time, just sitting in that chair.
Yep.
And then he gets up just so his head can explode.
And no one else woke up during all that.
Nope.
That's a good point. I wanted to bring this up. I didn't mention this when we were watching the thread, but it's so funny to me that all this stuff was happening on the plane with the beetle and all this stuff, and everybody's running around their stands, and all the other passengers just sitting there, like not even doing anything.
What the show didn't tell you was that everything was a whisper. So it was like,
Mm-hmm.
Emerald Splash! My Tower of Grey can touch anything! But no, Kakyoin was like, you'll soon find my stand is more than just hiding. It can also Emerald Splash, and that's it.
I don't even get that move. Like, what is he doing?
It's a projectile. It's
No.
straight up just a fighting game projectile move.
Are literal emeralds coming out of him?
No.
Okay.
It's just life energy that looks like that because it looks cool.
Okay. I was thinking, like, where the hell are these emeralds on the ground?
I'd like to fight, but unfortunately I don't have giant emeralds. Surprisingly more common than you think, but not that common.
Oh yeah, there was also a part where Joseph acknowledges this is the third time he's been in a plane crash.
Yeah, you don't want to get on a plane with Joseph Joestar. In fact, literally every time he gets on a plane, he crashes.
Every single time. That man needs to stay off planes already.
Yep, he does.
Well, I mean, actually, about that, I was thinking during the episode, with all the money that he has, why couldn't he hire a private plane? You know, I mean, get people from the Speedwagon Foundation. You know, just make sure everyone has a background check. Like, nope, this guy's definitely not working for Dio. You know, I mean, what was up with that? They just gave up so easily. There's so many ways they could get on a plane safely, but like they were just like, nope, one try, we're done. You know, let's get on a boat, let's walk there, it'll be faster.
It's so
I think
true.
at this, I mean, I think at this point he's just tired of planes because it's like his third plane crash. Let's be real. At that point, it's like I am never getting on a plane again. I'm not
He
dealing with
should,
that shit.
He should diversify. Try like a helicopter.
Oh, that's gonna end so much better.
Yeah, I mean, the reason he can't do that is because that would solve the plot.
This is
Yeah,
true.
that's
And
true.
also, they would walk into Egypt and get just fucking wrecked by Dio.
I think the
Mhm.
point is that I think we want a better explanation for this plot hole because it is like Speedwagon Foundation, endless resources. Why are you walking?
Because he has to. Because
should
that
have,
we
like-
couldn't have a story.
They should have had like the Speedwagon Foundation is in terrible financial ruin right now or something.
because of you constantly borrowing money from them and never paying it back.
Or Dio.
And I mean,
Dio gets like a vampire to like secretly take over the Speedwagon Foundation and ruin it.
It's the
I mean,
same guy.
even the course that they plotted, if you looked at the map that they had during the episode, they have to go through the oceans around the continents. I mean, just drive there or something. Why do you have to take these super out of the way boat rides?
I mean, you can't. It's harder to be attacked at sea than on land.
Yeah, I think to be realistic, I think that there are often like physical barriers on the continents, like a mountain range or something.
Yeah.
If you go by sea, I think it can be faster, but it is like Greg said, it's really just a vehicle for the adventure.
Like,
Yeah.
this part needs to be a road trip, and so, yeah. They can't, because they can't.
for plot reasons.
Anyway, the answer is no, but do you want to talk about Tokyo Ghoul?
No.
Tokyo Ghoul Route A, episode 7, Permeation. In this episode,
French guy's back.
I want, if it's okay with you, I want to insert into this episode that whole scene where he is just sniffing that handkerchief.
oh yeah.
Yes.
It is so bad.
Like the thread was like, man, I bet he's going off to sniff the handkerchief, and then cut to, oh, the show just actually shows him sniffing the goddamn handkerchief again. Fuck this show.
I was laughing out loud. Like, it was
This is
so
bullshit.
bad.
It was horrible.
At least it was fun, Dad.
It was funny. Yeah.
I mean, that's
For the
better
wrong-
than
I mean,
usual.
it's not
at
supposed
least.
to be, I don't think.
No, it's not. But at least it was amusing for the wrong reasons. For once, like normally it's just bad and boring.
I mean, was there even really a purpose to the scene?
Who cares?
No, I mean, I think literally it's this, that the people who were chained to their desks and forced to write this crap, those people, all they had to go on with this guy was that he had a fetish for Kaneki's blood. And so, like, well, we can make a scene out of that, I guess.
Remember when we did this scene? Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd do an entire goddamn episode about that.
Couldn't be worse.
It
So
could probably
Hinami
be
can't stop
better.
running into big important ghouls.
No, she cannot.
It's like immediately runs into creepy French stalker guy, and then immediately runs into, oh, it's my favorite author who's not a ghoul and will definitely not betray us all.
Nope.
But she
You're not gonna kill everybody.
immediately finds Stitch's kid and is like, sorry. She's like, watch me spin this pen.
Oh, I hate this show so much.
So I guess the doves are going to attack on Teku. Who cares? But I guess that's going to happen.
Oh, no, wait.
Kaneki's back with
Yes,
what's
the
her-
most important
yeah.
scene in the show is that
Who cares?
brooding Kaneki comes back and then mumbles some crap.
And then he gets yelled at.
And punched. Which was a good
Yep.
scene because he got punched.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He deserves it. I want him to get punched more.
That's about it.
Getting closer, guys. We're getting closer and closer every week with this show being off.
It's almost
Wait, how-
over.
How many more episodes?
Like 5.
Oh, thank God. A month.
Yeah. Only to be delayed by the Boo Saga Marathon.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Set 9 episodes of Boo Eat You! Boo Eat You! Anyway, let's talk about a good show called Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter episode 63, A Hard Master. In this episode, we get, quite frankly, a lot of just straight up shonen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We
first
do.
there's this guy who's like, I love eating hair.
He does love eating hair, though.
And then he eats Bisky's hair, and he's like, I am very sorry, I've made a terrible mistake. Please don't kill me.
Well, he did make a terrible mistake.
It was hilarious because he immediately took off all of his weapons and just started bowing, and it's like, yep,
Like, please don't murder me. Please
Bisky
don't
will
murder
fuck
me.
you up. And I can tell by eating her hair.
Well, I mean, she's like 60. You know?
Yes, Bisky is 57 years old and ripped. That's the details we got out of that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're 57 years old and you look like Bisky does, there is something going on there that nobody wants a part of.
He's clearly using hormone, just like Lisa.
Here's my question, though. I fail to believe that Insano Psycho Scissor Guy could so easily cut her hair. Like,
She probably
how
let
did he
him.
pull that off?
I mean, she probably let him just so he could learn the error of his ways.
Okay, that's more
She was
plausible.
immediately like, I can put him in a hole and use him as training.
Yeah, which she did.
Which
That's
she did.
exactly what she did.
Well, I'm just bummed because she lost part of her hair. I liked her with twin tails.
Well, she'll go to one, and
So yeah, this was basically a Bisky training episode, and
get
Yeah.
used to it.
yeah, it's kind of
Yon
that's what
and
she's
Killua
for, I
get
guess.
trained by female Hisoka.
Except that she could murder Hisoka in like a million different ways.
I mean, that's a fight I would love to see.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like just him struggling against her would be hilarious.
Like when she starts straight up like, "Oh yeah, I used to be an examiner in the Hunter exam."
Oh, and then she taught Wing.
Yeah, and I like how Bisky like I like Bisky's and Killua's like dynamic.
Like he just shit talks her, and then she smacks him
Yeah,
into space.
Blasting off again. So in this episode, training includes stuff like, let's run to the nearest town, which is like 3 days walk away. Okay, now let's
Then we'll
run back.
And now we're gonna go there, straight there, through the mountains, and you're gonna
Dig,
dig.
motherfuckers.
Like some crazy ass shit.
So her thing is that she likes gems.
Bisky likes shiny things, and she likes cute things. Those are her fetishes.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, whoever was about to talk.
Oh, I was just joking about the Dead Man Wonderland ending. Shiny.
Oh god.
This show is probably going to have kind of that soon.
I like the current
Oh
ending
yeah.
a lot, actually.
It's pretty
Mhm.
good. It just doesn't have the hype factor of the previous one, which was like whenever it came on, it's like, oh shit, it's
Well, I mean-
going down.
Yeah, well, I mean, this arc isn't quite as hype as the last one, so
In fact, that ending probably goes with everything.
it might.
Yeah, it's just the current one's just kind of like a really kind of chill, cool one. It's showing off the core trio now, and I don't know, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Good song. And then what was I gonna say about Bisky? There's something else that's I don't know, I forget. But anyway, yeah, I mean like this is you can still see how Hunter x Hunter is such a like influential show in that you can have a training arc and here it's still interesting. Like it still feels
Mhm.
fresh even though I know this came first.
I mean, I think what I like about the training arc, especially this one, is that usually, like in a shonen, you're like, okay, just do 1,000 push-ups, or I don't know, fight in this anti-gravity room, and that's how they get stronger. But here, she's actually teaching them something. Like when she had them fight the psycho scissor guy, they were learning how to control their nen and how to stay, concentrated for long periods of time. And then,
Mhm.
when they were digging their way through the rocks, they were learning how to infuse aura into the shovel. So, I mean, I think that's what it's different about this training arc compared to other shonens, where it's
Yeah. And it's like
it's very
it's like-
specifically showing you things.
right. And what's so surprising is that since this was around so early on, it's so surprising that the other people who kind of aped this model didn't do it as well. Like they could have just done the same thing, but like it seems like Hunter x Hunter is the most creative of those.
Well,
And,
yeah.
I mean, I think it was you guys who were telling me like this was kind of before Naruto, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter started before Naruto, but after a certain point, Naruto overtook it.
It's just
I mean,
yeah, you never really see that kind of cleverness, I think, in Naruto.
Naruto kind of did it when they were doing the tree climbing exercise, but then after that, they just forgot about that.
Also, Tsunade is just less cool Bisky.
This is true.
Like, there is not a single thing in Naruto, at least part 1, that did not come straight from Hunter x Hunter.
But done worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, not to say that like OG Naruto is bad. I mean, like there are parts I definitely like about OG Naruto. It's just that watching Hunter x Hunter, just make me go, "Wow, this is so much better."
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else about Hunter x Hunter before we move on? Sonic?
The,
All right.
when Gon and Killua just got the giant rocks to use as shields. And of course, everyone joked it was a big rock.
It's a big rock.
I threw a rock at him!
I'll do that too. Picks up a boulder.
So here's an aside. At work recently, one of my coworkers was watching like the old He-Man show on Netflix,
Yeah,
which, by the way, is literally an Adult Swim parody of itself.
it really is.
Like, I straight up was just dying when, like, whatever, Prince Adam, whenever he's not He-Man, he just pretends to not be He-Man, even though he looks exactly like He-Man, like just tripping over random things. Like, I'm running! Oh no, a rock! And anyway, one of his training regimens is like he just throws a rock. He's really strong. Anyway, Lupin the Third.
Okay.
Lupin the Third, Part 4, Episode 9. Welcome to the Haunted Hotel. It's haunted by the ghost of Goemon's appearance in the show. Apparently, next episode is a Goemon episode.
Wait, who's Goemon? I've never heard of this character.
He's that guy from the Konami games.
He's also recently appeared in Persona 5.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wait,
this was probably the best episode so far.
It was pretty good. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely really good.
Mm-hmm. I liked it, but you know.
I couldn't help but get like a Castle of Cagliostro vibe from it for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they're in a castle.
That, yeah.
So
myself.
So was this Mama character and these two goons, were they from like, are they like Lupin characters or are these like new inventions?
Well, the Mamas just straight up seemed like, hey, look, it's Alvida from One Piece.
Well,
And
yeah.
then one of the goons was literally just Shaggy.
He was
Literally.
Shaggy. Like, yeah, he was just Shaggy. Let's be real.
But
he
like,
looked like Shaggy.
I got the impression that like, oh yeah, if I had watched enough Lupin like 30 years ago, I would have seen this Mama woman before. But because that's how they treated her. It's like, hey, it's Mama. It's like, who the hell is this?
She Mama.
I guess she may just be for this show. I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Who knows?
I mean, she's sort of the archetypal, how you say, Godfather character, and I mean, they're in Italy, so I guess that works out. But I also couldn't tell if she was some sort of original character or not.
Yeah, I definitely, when I was watching the episode, I was thinking either I don't know who this is and I'm supposed to, or they're just acting like this is someone I should know when they've never been introduced before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that scene where she's like, fuck your gun, I've got a Gatling gun. And then Jigen's like, I've also got a gun. And she's like, oh no, a gun.
Well, he had it pointed at her head.
Yeah. And she can't shoot both of them.
So, guys, this episode, we got ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, a little girl ghost.
Fake
It was an
ghosts
actual
and
ghost.
actual ghosts.
Yes, this was not a hallucination. It was not a projection. It was straight up supernatural.
Yep. There was a dead body and everything.
Yep. Which was pretty sad, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that kind of bummed me out, to be honest.
Bummer. Also, like, the random pee corner had me laughing. Like, okay, when they get drunk, they'll pee in this very specific corner.
That very specific corner.
And also it's like, I don't want to kill anyone, and then like crushing ceiling traps and rolling boulder traps.
Yep.
It's so cliche because you just all I can ever think about when I see that stuff is like, how long has that been sitting there? Giant
Long
trap.
time.
It's like, man, that's like a
Long,
one
long
and done kind of thing.
Well,
Who's gonna
yep.
go and like reset that?
I don't know.
I can actually hear crickets in the background of something.
I think that's me. Sitting by the window, so
That's cool. It's really nice.
It's happening outside.
Anyway, Lupin never really has much to talk about because it's kind of simple.
I mean, it's simple and it's fun. It's not complicated at all, which sort of doesn't lend itself well to discussions outside of, oh, that was awesome. Did you see that? That was awesome.
And you can't really discuss like this character because the characters basically have to stay the same forever.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to say almost like
Sorry,
a
go on.
potato show. It's like you get enough to get your fill, but there's not much to talk about.
I feel like this is really a show for people who are already fans of Lupin, you know. They've been watching it for a while and they're like, oh, hey, new Lupin. But, you know, for other people, it's like, oh, okay, I've seen this sort of storyline before, you know. And the little
It's still
girl's
fun.
Yeah.
Basically, this show is for the French and the Italians.
Also for us.
I mean, let's be honest, Americans don't care about Lupin.
Some of us do.
Jason DeMarco is probably the biggest fan in the United States.
I will fight him.
He's got good taste. I mean, I think it's a good show. I agree. It's not exciting. It's just good, old-fashioned fun.
Yep. Speaking of old-fashioned fun, Naruto Shippuden.
Ah, damn it.
Naruto Shippuden episode 170, Big Adventure, The Quest for the Fourth Hokage's Legacy Part 1. Okay, guys, I'm going to be straight with you. I liked this episode.
That's because it was in the past.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say, that's because this wasn't a Shippuden episode at all.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of something that's going to be happening more and more because there's less time between each arc that they have no place to really put filler for the most part. So they're basically going to look to the past and say, oh, we can stick some filler over there, you know, just like there's almost no room for anything going forward. So they got to just, you know, keep doing flashback episodes.
What's weird to me, though, is that, like, I'm not complaining, first of all. I agree with
No.
you, Greg. This was way better than most of the stuff that's on Shippuden because it's OG
Yeah.
Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
But what's weird to me is that, like, why do they have to go so far back? Like, why don't they just show, like, a Neji mission or something from the current time? It's almost like they have no faith in their current cast, and they want to go back to, like, the old stuff because that's better.
Part of the problem is they want to have Naruto in the episode.
Oh,
You know,
I see.
like it's sort of like when Dragon Ball Z tried to phase Goku out and make Gohan the, you know, hero, and everyone was sort of like,
Well, let me spin it another way then. Why don't they just, like, have a flashback to Shippuden Naruto on a mission? Like, you know, they could do that easily. They could be like, Naruto could, like, be in the middle of the battle and just have, I remember the time that, and then there's just like a whole filler episode of him doing something. But instead of doing that, instead of doing the current age Naruto and these characters, they go back to OG, which, again,
they'll
I'm
do
way
that a
more
little bit.
for, but it's just
Yep.
funny that they don't do that in their own show.
I mean, they will do that a little bit going forward. You know,
Oh, okay.
there are going to be some sort of, you know, Shippuden filler arcs, but at the same time, there's only so much space they have, you know, between arcs, so there's not a lot of room for them to squeeze stuff in.
I mean, the
Meanwhile,
thing. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
The thing that I found weird about it was, I mean, you look at an episode of Shippuden now, and it's kind of silent throughout. I mean, that's always been one of my biggest complaints. You know, the music isn't as exciting, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just walking around in the daily life during regular OG Naruto episodes, you could hear the da 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 da. And I mean, that's the kind of thing I missed from OG Naruto and Shippuden is the music. So, I mean, why can't they do that now? You know, why can't they create all these nice musical pieces and then have them on during the regular Shippuden?
Because the
I
show
don't
is
know.
serious and badass now.
Yeah, it's
Except
gone
there's no
edgy.
badass. Except there's no badass or edgy music. You know that would actually help. It's all boring music.
Yeah, the music's not good, I agree, but I do believe that if they even had good music, it wouldn't be lighthearted and fun music. It would be,
No,
dreary.
I mean it would help a little bit though. Let's be real.
Oh yeah. Well, this show
Like
needs
that,
levity. Shippuden doesn't really have good, like, not that Naruto, the original series, was like,
a comedy
laugh
or
out loud
anything. No.
hilarious, but it was definitely funnier and more lighthearted than Shippuden. When Shippuden tries comedy, it just falls on its face every time.
Yeah, it's just too like the series is just too far up its own ass that they can't do that sort of thing.
So anyway, while this filler is fine, then pretty soon we're going to get 21 episodes of actual Shippuden filler.
Wait,
How
how
long?
many episodes?
21.
Damn.
Oh,
How
Yep.
long is this Hokage's secret arc, by the way?
Oh, this is just 2
2
episodes.
Oh,
And then we immediately get 21 more.
Like after 4
Of filler?
episodes of Pain backstory and Pain arc finishing,
Oh,
21
okay, thank
episodes
God.
of filler.
Well, I mean, thank God they're willing to finish the arc off, you know? I mean,
Man,
it's just a
staying up
weird...
for Outlaw Star is going to be freaking hard mode.
Seriously. I mean, it's weird that they even, put the filler here, considering they're going back so quickly, you know? Why not just finish the arc off and then put this in?
Filler
Just a
knows
weird
no
spot.
logic.
It was probably something to do with the way it was airing in Japan at the time.
Yep, I imagine. It's just, the timing is weird. It's like some Bleach shit where they, like, we got to put some filler here. We caught
Well,
up.
they did, and like what they did with One Piece, where they kind of cut things in weird order, or they would
Yeah.
like skip a thing because of a holiday or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like time for a Boss Luffy episode. Everyone's
Right.
favorite.
Yeah, right.
Those were awesome.
No, Chopper Man was cool. Boss Luffy was like, why?
Boss Luffy's okay.
Eh.
oh my goodness.
Perfect. Flawless. That's the best ringtone ever.
Wait, what was that ringtone?
That was the Steel Samurai theme.
Nice.
Oh man, I knew I should have put it on silent.
That was good.
Anyway, we now get to talk about Outlaw Star.
Yay.
Outlaw Star Episode 1, Outlaw World.
Mm-hmm.
This show looks good.
Yep. And
So-
Gene gets laid a lot in this show. like
So-
he's just got girls in a rotation.
Before we begin, maybe we should go around everyone. Like, who has and who hasn't seen this?
I haven't.
I've seen it.
I haven't.
I saw like the one episode during the April Fool's Toonami thing, so that's all.
I saw it like 10 years ago and don't have much memory of it.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's more people than I thought who hadn't seen it.
Outlaw Star is kind of not very big. Like, people remember it fondly, but
Yeah.
it's
not one of those classics that everyone and their grandmother watches.
in the hall of pretty good.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, first off, the episode starts out with a really great OP. I'm kind of bummed that it's almost certainly going to get cut next week, but
I bet it doesn't because it's an old show.
that would be great.
awesome.
because it was good.
Like, when
Mhm.
it comes to old shows, they tend to not cut that stuff.
That would be really awesome if they didn't.
I mean, did they ever explain why Ghost in the Shell's OP wasn't cut?
I think they just didn't want to bother.
Yeah.
You know, because
Maybe
I mean,
we'll get lucky.
it does take effort. So yeah, maybe we get lucky.
So in this episode,
Go ahead.
weird,
episode.
weird magic guns and psychic powers.
Yeah, the space pirates use Chinese magic, and Jean has a gun that shoots bullets that do magic. That's right, his bullets
That
cast
was
magic
probably
spells.
the weirdest part of it for me.
That was awesome.
Hard sci-fi. This is not.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
I mean, we're gonna
And
get swords that cut through entire buses, just Zorro entire buses, and cat girls. So
Well,
Yeah,
I guess maybe way to look at this is that this is leaning more into the Star Wars realm, where there's mysticism.
yeah, it's more science fantasy than science fiction.
Yeah.
And then there's the naked girl in the briefcase.
Yes. There's a girl in the box.
now
Yep.
with no digital bikini.
Nope. And Jean's got girls on rotation, so that's weird. No, I mean it's not weird, but it's weird for an anime protagonist, especially a guy. Like he's got girls on rotation. He's got the bar girl. He's got the one he saw late. The one he slept with.
Well, he does have such an amazingly sexy name as Gene Starwind.
Well, I mean, and it's the sort of thing like it's either get with all these girls or go home and take care of Gone.
What was
Flash
Hot Stud taken?
Apparently it was
That's the episode title.
Flash
Okay.
Hot Stud.
Something else I really liked about this first episode is I think that the mech designs in this show are really interesting and very different. Like the spaceships, they're just unusual. I've never seen ship designs like this where everything's kind of round.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, just in general, everything, it didn't look like anything I can put my finger on. It didn't look steampunky. It didn't look like classic sci-fi. It looked just weird, and I kind of liked it.
The ships are going to get a little more weirder because if you paid attention to the OP, you've noticed that all the ships have arms, which they then use to melee fight each other in space. Like they hold guns in the arms and shoot each other and attack each other with axes in the arms.
That's hilarious. Like all the spaceships having like T-Rex arms is amazing.
It really is.
Another thing this show did that was weird, but okay, I guess, was every time there was a transition, it was like a gunshot.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of very stylized, which is kind of cool.
Anyone else have anything to say
I
on this
think
episode? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, go on. I think my favorite part of Our Lost Star, don't mean to get all, how you say, anime hater on is the anime today, but I really like the art, like everything's so detailed. There's backgrounds that are detailed for no reason. I mean, other than to just look good. And I think that's something that you don't see a lot in anime today, Like they'll draw the scene, but then they won't do any work on the background, like, oh, there's a tree, there's a building, that's it,
Totally, dude. Like I remember, I think even during when we were watching it in the thread, I said that like all of these shots have amazing matte paintings in the background.
Yeah.
They look great. And I agree with you too. Like, I mean, I think I talked about this last episode, but like, I think there's definitely I think there's a lot of new anime that looks amazing, like it's really well animated. But there's something about the kind of like digital clean look of modern anime to this like hand drawn but super detailed and high frame rate anime of the 90s that it's just such a cool look.
It's also sort of scratchy looking.
It's basically the 2D to 3D transition where it's like, well, 2D just looks amazing, but the economics are just so clearly in favor of 3D. And so here I imagine that straight up, this stuff is just not very... it's just extremely inefficient to produce.
Probably
anymore. Yeah. But man, does it look good.
It does.
It really does.
So
I would be totally cool with like bumping Unicorn out of the top 3 best looking for this.
I think
Just because better looking space show.
I don't know. I mean, that's
that's
Unicorn's kind of my example though of like a modern show that I think really does look good.
yeah. I
It
mean,
doesn't have that same style, but I think it's really well animated.
yeah. I mean, Unicorn is one of those things that every single part of it is really detailed in terms of what you're seeing on screen, from the individual animation to the backgrounds, and like there's a lot of attention to detail there that I wish they had put into the story, but whatever. But I do think this will probably wind up being a solid contender for best looking show. I don't think it's going to win it, but
Nah.
It's I think overall this first episode is really I'm hooked. I mean, like I'm really intrigued. It looked fun. The pacing was good. The story wasn't super deep or anything, but these characters seemed pretty likable, and I'm in. I'm looking forward to it. Except for that ending, which was just weird.
Yeah, I actually remember that ending a lot.
I don't even think it ties to the show in any way. It's just random artwork.
Yeah, it's so out of place.
I mean, that's what anime endings, man.
Yep. I mean,
It's
that's
like,
what it was at the time.
Look, some band paid us to show their, new single, so here it is.
I mean, that's basically Detective Conan, their OP and their EGs.
I mean, the vast majority of OPs and endings are like that. But at least with the OP, they make an actual effort that it fits, at least somewhat.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to mention was, I don't remember his name. The little kid that's helping Gene out, or I guess they run a business together. And I wanted to say that, unlike most child anime characters, he wasn't annoying to me at all. Like he went along with the missions, and understandably, when shit started going down, he wanted to get out of there. But I mean, other than that, he seemed pretty cool about everything. Like, he wasn't nagging like, Gene, where are you going? Or Gene, what are you doing? So,
yeah, he's that kind of like street smart kind of kid who's like, he's kind of wise beyond his years.
Yep.
But then still a kid. Like he's not interested in girls and stuff. He's just sort of like, but he's like smart enough to like know when he's being swindled and things. It's kind of cool. I agree.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
I was a bit surprised at how little this about. Basically, every time I see one of these old shows, I expect like the first episode to be, okay, we've gathered the crew and into the ship. Bye.
Yep.
And no, we don't even come close.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with this one is that when it sort of did hit all the notes it needed to hit for a first episode. It just didn't move as fast as you would think.
Yeah. Like, it's so weird they're not even in the ship yet.
Well, we've still got characters to introduce.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be like episode 7.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's sort of like, they've set up the status quo, they've disrupted the status quo, they've introduced the characters, they've done everything they need to make a successful first episode.
To kind of get back to your point, Grex, I do feel like this was not uncommon for these shows. I remember Tenchi Muyo was this way. I remember El Hazard was this way. Like they would each episode they would introduce another cast member, until they got to like about episode 6 or 7 or 8, and then suddenly all the team was assembled.
Well, I mean, this isn't going to have a gigantic cast, but it is going to be.
In general, this was a trend. Yeah. I remember seeing this a lot. Like you got Ranma. I mean, like a lot of old shows I used to watch back then. That's how they did it, man. It wasn't like the whole cast was introduced in the first episode.
Anyway, so anything else about Outlaw Star? Outlaw Star. Okay. Outlaw Star.
It is kind
Looking
of
forward to seeing the rest of it, I guess.
it's kind of interesting to rewatch this and thinking, oh man, how much do they have to edit to put this in 2002 middle of
So
the
much.
day?
Yeah, I can't imagine them why they even tried.
But they did.
They did, and people liked it anyway, so
Yep.
that's why we're getting it today.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that'll be about it for this episode. Thank you, Zonic.
Yep.
Thank you, Schadenfreude.
Thanks for having me.
I imagine I've said your name like different every single time. Thank you, C. Kohler.
My pleasure.
Thank you, B-Dubs.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 71. Good night.